he came over by himself, I think, and then he brought over his two sisters and his wife.
Okay. And they were from Dublin?
Ireland. No, they were from County Mayo. County Mayo.
And they landed in Pittsburgh?
No, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Okay.
Which was a port of entry. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is Thomas.
His name was Thomas. And his father's name was Anthony. Isn't that interesting?
That's not a very Irish name.
It's not a very Irish name.
And what year would this have been?
Huh?
What year?
Grandpa, when he came over like in 1890. And his family, his parents, I assume, lived through most of the terrible times over there. You know, the
Unrest between the North.
well, no, the famine.
Oh.
The famine was in the 60s, 1860s, and like 1 million people died, and then 3 million people moved to the U.S.
Oh.
And now they cut their population like in half.
Wow.
Because the British had taken over the whole island, and they parsed up the farms and that, and gave all the land to the British people. And then the famine hit, and of course the Irish died, not the English, you know.
Well, right. Those in control.
Yeah.
So you said Thomas came from Ireland, but went to England.
A lot of them worked in England.
And he did.
That's what Grandpa did. He
railroad?
went to England when he was like 14 and worked in the mills. Yeah.
Can you even imagine our 14-year-olds in our society today get off their iPads?
Right.
Or do something.
Can't get a 14-year-old to make dinner. Wash their
We're
own
going to
clothes.
need you to work in a mill.
Huh? Worked in the mill. He had several fingers missing. I remember
Who did?
your namesake grandfather.
Thomas?
Thomas had, because he worked in the mill, and he was a slinger. They called them the slingers. And the slingers worked in the rolling mill, where a slab of steel started at one end, and it went right out of the oven, so it was hot.
Oh boy. Sounds dangerous.
And then it went through successive rolling mills to get longer and thinner. And then when it got to the end, they flipped it. Guys with tongs would grab it and throw it back into the roller mill, where it would get smaller again.
Jeez.
So he had a few fingers missing.
Well, at 14, you learn.
Did he ever find him?
Did you ever find it? No, I'm sure they hit that steel, they were gone.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Oh, no. No.
I went to the
Those are crazy stories.
rolling mill in Ford, the Ford Greenfield Village. If you guys need a reason to go on a trip, that is really interesting. But you can also go into the Ford Rouge rolling mill, where they make sheet metal. Well, they might not anymore, but they made the sheet metal there. And they start with these ingots, and they get squeezed thinner and thinner and thinner. So you can say you start with an ingot like that, and you squeeze it down to where it's a 1/16 of an inch or smaller.
Wow.
And the problem is it keeps getting longer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then you get to the point where you start rolling it onto a roll.
Oh.
Okay. And when you take the tour, you're up about 2 floors off the rolling mill because sometimes the steel gets away.
Ooh.
Can you
Ooh, boy.
imagine? Whoa.
That's how you lose a finger.
It would take out anything it wanted, yeah.
Ay, ay, ay.
Hmm.